Hello, and thank you very much for clicking on this link to listen to this audio video overview of the digital marketing strategist position at AM Agency. Now, real quick, you are receiving this because you're already in the pipeline and moving forward for consideration. So what this is additional information beyond what you'll see on the internet or in the job description so that you are better prepared for, number one, making a good decision about whether or not you're supposed to be here on this team working for this agency. And number two, you have enough information to be able to be prepared for a conversation. So let's get into this real quick. The digital marketing strategist is a full-time position with AM Agency. We're the recruiting company. We're helping find people like yourself. However, it's a full-time with benefits opportunity as a W-2 employee of AM Agency. Now, they're located in Hurst. That is right between Dallas and Fort Worth, just above Arlington. So kind of a mid-cities area. And this is one opportunity for one person. And the one thing I could tell you right up front is AM Agency is a faith-based business. It's Christian owned and operated. So you see those principles both in practice and in the culture as well. Now, the reason we're doing this is because if we had to get one of our recruiters to call you and schedule a conversation, the first conversation always requires some scheduling challenges that we got to get through. And this is easier, it's faster. So we're getting you the same information that you would otherwise be getting in a call with a recruiter. But you can listen to this multiple times if you want, and you can listen to this at your convenience, and you can respond whenever you're ready to respond. So it's actually better for you. The typical recruiting process is not really to your advantage because you're on the spot, and if you answer anything wrong, then you could be disqualified. We don't want to do that. So this gives you some advantage. Now, again, this is for active candidates that are currently under consideration for the digital marketing strategist position. So congratulations. You don't probably realize this, but you've either responded to one of our job postings or you have been contacted directly because we've already looked at your resume. There's a pre-screening that already occurs based on your background and experience. And so now we're moving you to next steps. This is not something that everybody gets. You are being considered because of your experience and qualifications. So the next step after this is if what you hear is on point with your career goals and what you want to do with your life, then we want to hear back from you. And we're going to give you a mechanism to do that. There's a questionnaire we'd like you to complete so that we can gather more information to complement your resume for the hiring manager. So after we get that information, then it kind of moves quickly from there. So first of all, you may personally be in a situation where you're looking for either more money, that's good, or maybe a growth opportunity with a company that is going to expand your capabilities, and that's fantastic. Or just trying to improve your resume. Maybe you're already in transition because you've been downsized because of all the crazy stuff happening in the market. Or maybe you're just looking to get into a more stable company that has long-term business-to-business relationships where you're not at risk of a layoff. Okay, all that stuff is good, but what I'm going to tell you is there's something even better being offered here for the right person. And if this resonates with you, then you're really going to want to listen to the rest of this. First of all, as I said, AM Agency is a faith-based, Christian-owned and operated business. So that kind of culture is a great place to work because of the way they treat their customers, their vendors, their clients, their employees. Also, it is a situation where you're actually serving other organizations. And because this is a full-service agency, you have the opportunity to offer all types of help and support services to other organizations. Really, the core of what the business is doing, I'm going to get into in a few more minutes. But let me introduce myself and help you understand why I know this information. I'm a recruiting manager with Proforce. We're a third-party company. We help find great people. And the objective here is to create a win-win scenario where all the stakeholders feel like they got to win. You, your family, AM Agency, and their customers. So we have a commitment to find that right relationship, both for you and for them. So this is different from a normal recruiting model. We call this an accelerated recruiting model where you can listen to this audio information and you can respond There's no AI here. This is all real people. I'm actually recording this from Frisco. So we're all local to Dallas-Fort Worth area. And this gives you a chance to think about the information and think about your answers before you respond. So you put your best foot forward. Now, a little bit more about AM Agency. Like I said, faith-based. They've got a strong set of core values. Download the position profile. You're going to see a whole page there dedicated to their core values and their internal culture. The benefits are crazy. I mean, there's multiple pages of benefits. So you're probably not even used to seeing an organization that's a mid-sized company that has all that to offer. I would encourage you to look at that as well, because it goes way beyond just the standard stuff of health insurance and vision and life insurance and all that stuff. Probably one of the more important things here is you're being given an opportunity to be in a purpose-driven work environment. And this organization is working with other companies to find their purpose and help them achieve their objectives as businesses. So I can't underscore the importance of that. And I'll talk about that more in a second. The problem that AM Agency typically solves is in the space of marketing. I mean, you already know a lot of small to mid-sized companies have internal marketing teams, and do-it-yourself marketing is kind of like do-it-yourself surgery. It just is a big mess, creates a lot of pain, it costs a lot more than letting an expert do it. So they offer a outsourced third-party strategy and tactical and implementation set of skills and capabilities for organizations that need marketing support. So of course they do everything, brand, strategy and design, all the marketing and communications, content marketing, paid media, SEO, website, all that. But they're also involved in helping the organizations, their clients, go all the way back to the beginning and saying, who are you as a business and why do you exist? What is your purpose? What are you trying to accomplish? And that then permeates both the external brand of the business and the internal brand, which is the culture. And so you have an opportunity here to really have an amazing impact on organizations. This is way beyond marketing. This is even, in my opinion, above strategy. It's going back to the purpose and intent of the organization, working with the senior executives or the owners to be able to discover that and to build both an external persona and an internal culture around that purpose. So this is not something that a lot of folks have had a chance to do in the marketing space. A lot of times we're order takers in marketing, and in this case, you have a chance to really influence your client organizations. So one of the unique differentiators here, and this is important because you don't want to go to work for a company that just does the same things that everybody else does. And, they compete on price. That is the wrong place to be because that's a zero-sum value proposition over time. What you want to do is you want to be an organization that has a niche, a special offering, a unique value proposition. And in this case, having an organization like AM Agency that helps another business find themselves, find their brand, and promote and fulfill their purpose is a big deal. Matter of fact, the AM Agency has an internal purpose statement that says, we exist to inspire and equip others to fulfill their God-given purpose. So we talk about what businesses have as a purpose, but I'm going to challenge you listening to this. What's your purpose? What are you supposed to be doing with all of your gifts, your talents, all your prior experience and your capabilities? Are you supposed to be using that just to make money or to accomplish something for a greater good? I would argue that once you get to the place where your basic needs are met, you're looking for a place to make an impact professionally. You want to take those skills and abilities and talents and purpose those toward a greater good. So the big question is this the right place for you? So hopefully you get that answer in going through this information. The work itself is a commitment to strategic and a connection to the tactical team. So you've got to know how to converse and communicate and connect with the client, the decision maker in the client organization, and then building out a strategy that's going to help them. You're the pointy end of the spear. But then also working with the technical team means that you've got to have the capability of understanding some of the technical things. So everything from SEO to Google ads, PPC, social media advertising, you've got to have some in the weeds experience to be able to know how to guide and direct the technical teams on the implementation of the work. So please take a few minutes and look at the overall description in the downloadable position profile, because it's going to give you a better idea of what that looks like. And so I'm going to suggest that, what's in it for you professionally, career-wise? Yeah, the compensation is competitive, the benefits are competitive, but really the intangibles are amazing. Working for a culture, a company with this type of team, being able to have exposure to so many different industries as a consultant, even if you haven't worked in an agency before, if you've got all of this skill, background, and experience, but you want to work in the agency space, I'm going to tell you personally, this is kind of random. It's not in my my list of things to tell you, but when you work for one company, one logo, you're like an internal marketing person, that's not as valuable as getting experience working for multiple companies. When you become a consultant, you're working for like 5, 10 companies, sometimes at a time, and you'll get 10 years of experience in 3 years. Your value on the market becomes infinitely greater because of the experience you gain working with multiple clients. That's why I always tell anybody, no matter what field you're in, if you have a chance to go into a consulting role, doing the same thing in a consulting capacity for multiple clients, like with an agency, hands down, fight for that opportunity. It's worth every year that you have gaining that experience, and that you get here. So there's a career path and there's super meaningful work. So, my personal perspective is the long-term benefits to you are huge. It increases your value. And actually, you probably don't know this, but your future earnings is your most valuable asset. Most people think it's their car or their house. No. It's your future earnings. In aggregate, it's worth millions of dollars. And if you can bump that up by 10, 15% because of the experience you gain, that's huge. So that's one thing. But then you're also, because you're building your skills and capabilities, you can make your own ticket. You can grow within AM agency. You can be a business owner one day. You can be in sales. You can go any route you want because of the experience. And you have the client stories to prove it. You'll never get those client stories working in one company supporting one logo. So again, I think the long-term career value is massive in an environment like this. So real quick, just a couple things to point out regarding the requirements. We would love to have someone with a bachelor's degree, and if it's in business or communications or marketing, that's fantastic. If you have got the technical skills, then you're our kind of people, meaning you don't just have the strategy. You haven't just done some high level stuff in one area. You've got to have that breadth of experience. Like I said, all the Google tools. If you've got some of the PM tool experience like Asana, that's great. Google Drive experience. Of course, you've got to have Microsoft Office, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, all that. But we're also looking for people with those professional capabilities, goal-oriented, metrics-oriented, able to work independently, detail-oriented, able to see the big picture and connect it with the tactical details. Your technical competence is important, even though you're at a strategic level, because you're that interface between the teams. You're kind of a natural coach and somewhat of a role model also for the internal team members who are going to be following your lead as a strategist. So we're also looking for those leadership skills. And I think most importantly, we're also looking for that cultural fit. If you are hearing this information and you realize, wow, working for a faith-based, I'm not saying nonprofit, I just said faith-based, Christian-owned and operated business that operates on those principles and has a higher purpose for existing, helping other organizations and people find their purpose and realizing why they're here and achieving their goals and objectives, and using strategy to do that, that's immensely rewarding, super valuable, and I think a higher purpose beyond just having a job or a career. So if that excites you, we invite you to take the next steps. We've got a questionnaire we'd like you to complete. And I'm going to tell you right now, we read every word of that stuff. It's more important than your resume because we're asking for very specific things for a reason. And nobody's got everything, okay? Nobody's like bingo, they've got 100% of everything we're looking for. That just doesn't happen in any job. What we're looking for is what 80% of what we're looking for do you have compared to somebody else? And based on your background and experience, we think you'll do well going through those questions and giving us that information. So, like I said, if this is interesting to you and you think it's on point with what you're looking for, we're opening up the kimono. We're being transparent, honest with you up front. Now it's your turn. Give us your best. Take your time, complete that questionnaire. Don't be shy. This is a chance for you to sell you. And you should be doing that in every interview. Okay, side tip. When you're interviewing, you're selling. You're selling you. You're the solution to the problem that filling the position solves. So don't be shy about that. The next steps after we get your information is we look at that. It takes us a couple days to go through it, but then we will follow up. And I'm going to make a commitment to you that if for some reason you're not the right person for the job, we're also going to come back around and we're going to not only tell you thank you, but we're going to send you some career transition resources related to resume best practices, and we know resumes, and also how to interview well, how to kick it out of the park, and then also some things about you finding your purpose and what you're supposed to be doing with your skills, gifts, and experience. And that's our commitment to you, regardless of what happens in an outcome, just for it's a way to say thank you to you. Okay, that's it. Thank you so much for your patience and listening to me ramble on. Really looking forward to getting your information back via the questionnaire. And then from here, we go into next steps, and we'll explain what those are after we get your info. All right, make it a great day and a great week, and we look forward to you seeing your information.